Hello and welcome to the Practice Acceleration Formula, the fastest way to build a full practice and to make 2015 your best year ever. My name is Kevin Doherty and I'm with Dream Practice Coaching, and it is an honor to be here with you, and I'm truly grateful for your time so you can learn over these next few minutes exactly how to build your ideal practice and really make this upcoming year just a breakthrough year for you and overcome a lot of the just struggles and challenges, the limits you probably have been up against building your private practice. So this training series is going to help you if you're offering a genuinely helpful service to your patients and you deliver great value and results. So this is for you if your heart is really engaged with what you do, you love helping people, but you're noticing some big challenges in building a successful business around your mission and your purpose. You feel like your practice is growing too slow and you have concern about your financial and business future. Marketing your practice often feels stressful or burdensome. You just don't enjoy it that much. You feel like you're on a practice roller coaster. You're just up and down a lot. Your weeks fluctuate a lot in terms of your patient or client volume, and that's become pretty tiring. You're ready to stabilize what you do. You're working too hard for too little result, and you've always felt just kind of awkward about or resistant to marketing. You've never found a way into it that feels comfortable or authentic to who you are, and you're ready. You know that marketing is important, but you're not sure how to approach it in a way that feels really inspiring to you. And to sum it all up, you're just ready for a breakthrough year. You really want to make 2015 just an amazing, abundant, successful year in your practice and in your personal life. So my name is Kevin Doherty, and I'm the president of Dream Practice Coaching. I've had the good fortune of helping literally thousands of practitioners all over the world build their ideal practice, and I'm really excited to have you here and to help you as well. So let's start our discussion with something that we all need to get on the same page with. What is it that causes most practices to struggle? Well, first of all, they're thinking like a clinician, but not an entrepreneur. They love helping people and getting results in their practice, but they're not quite wearing their entrepreneurial hat and thinking in terms of visibility and promotion and marketing. So we definitely want to get that to change, because the more you identify with being an entrepreneur, the faster you're going to grow. A lot of practices have deficient or even non-existent front-end marketing systems in place, which makes their practice inherently unstable and feel kind of groundless. Their patient or client retention is often quite low, which creates high turnover and stress. It's hard to have stability and to feel really secure in what you do if you're only seeing the average client 1 to 3 times. And a lot of practitioners have deficient or non-existent contact management systems in place, and we definitely want to see that improve. And a lot of us just don't even know how to get referrals in a consistent way. We know that word of mouth is a vital component of our success, but we don't really understand how to ask for referrals or get more referrals in a way that feels really good and authentic. So the Practice Acceleration Formula is going to help you do a couple of really important things. Go from phase 1, which is a startup phase, to phase 2 in a fraction of the time that it takes most practices. So most of us go from a startup phase to phase 2, which is filling out our schedule and seeing at least 20 to 25 clients or patients a week and starting to turn a profit. That process tends to happen for a lot of us in a 3 to 5 year span, and this formula is going to definitely be a fast track to getting you to that place of phase 2 so much faster, potentially within even weeks or months. I like to see this happen as fast as possible, and with the right strategies and systems in place, there's no reason why it can't. This formula is also going to help you maximize phase 2, so it's really going to fill out your schedule so you can bring on associates, you can automate your marketing, and you can have more freedom in your life, which is why you got into business in the first place, right? You didn't want to just spend 80 hours working on your practice. You wanted to automate a lot of this, free up your time, and enjoy your life more. So this will definitely help you do that. So let's go through this formula, shall we? It's very simple, and it's a formula that the beauty is in the simplicity, but it's also incredibly easy to overlook all of these components. So the formula is this: 10% better marketing, 10% better contact management, 10% more referrals, and 10% better retention. What does that equal? Exponential practice growth. So I want you to write this formula down because this really is the solution you've been looking for, and it should make it feel very workable, very doable. And that's what we want out of this video today. So the goal here is to plug all of the weak links in your practice. And as you see with this 10% ratio, it doesn't have to be done perfectly, just well enough in all of these main areas to create exponentially faster growth. You see, a lot of us have just major deficiencies in these different areas of this formula. And if you even plug that weak link by 10% and you get all of those systems and factors in place, just with 10% improvement, it can dramatically improve your practice growth and accelerate this entire process. So in today's video, I want to help you implement the first part of this formula, which is just basically marketing and getting more patients in the door. That is obviously a major weak link for a lot of us. And realize though that this is just one component of your practice success. We really want to get all of these factors as successful as possible. But even if we give each of these a 10% bump, that will have dramatically positive dividends for your practice. Okay, so let's talk about marketing. And I want to lay out just an overview of what I think is by far the best way to market your private practice. Okay. So before we get into that, I want to make sure that you avoid this practice-killing mistake. I see this all of the time. Please do not assume that having strong clinical skills will automatically fill your practice and that word of mouth will be the only strategy that you need to grow. That is a painfully slow way to build your business. And likewise, please don't assume that investing in the next modality-enhancing seminar will be the golden ticket to your success. I see it all the time where the practitioner wants to take the next $1,000, $2,000, $5,000 seminar to learn the next amazing, add-on to their clinical skill set, really enhance their repertoire, and they think that's what's going to propel them forward and get them seeing way more clients or patients. Unfortunately, that tends to yield problematic results where we're just missing a fundamental component of running a successful business. So that's really the kind of weak link that I want to fill for you in this video series, okay? Whether you like it or not, the key to your success in practice is marketing. And I want you to ask these questions and really get honest with yourself. How good are you right now at getting visibility for your practice? Is that a skill that you've cultivated over the last few months and years? Is that something that you've given a lot of priority and value to? And how many people right around your office even know that you exist? Are you missing out on potentially thousands of clients or patients just because they don't even know you're there? And that harkens back to the first question here. Your skill set of getting this visibility has been deficient. So all of these people right around you, they don't even know you're there. And it has nothing to do with how good you are at what you do. It's just that so many people aren't even aware of your existence. And that has to change in order for you to become more successful. And are you currently perceived as the go-to practitioner in your area? Good marketing is all about perception and instilling a perception of you being the thought leader and expert, the trusted leader in that particular niche or profession. Is that happening right now? Or are you just basically blended into a sea of kind of generic branding and business? And we want to make sure that changes, because if you can lead with innovation in your marketing, that's going to convey leadership, it's going to differentiate you, and people will want to see you versus the many others who do what you do, or at least on the surface do what you do, right? So if you hate marketing, we need to change this ASAP. If you have a thing in your brain right now that's saying, you know what, I love what I do, but I just hate the marketing, I hate promoting myself, we have to get that to change, because it's only hurting your business if you think of marketing as a burden. That's really a limiting belief, and it's something that honestly undermines really drastically the success of thousands of practices all over the planet. And you're watching this right now because I know there's a part of you that is totally motivated to move forward. I'm telling you, this is one of the entry points into a higher level of success and abundance, is if we can get you to redefine what marketing is so you feel really passionate about it. So here's how I define marketing. It's very simple. Marketing is the bridge that connects your gifts with the people who need them most. That's all it is. So any strategy we use to promote you and your business, this is all that we're doing. We're not trying to be salesy or cheesy or hypey or, kind of lead with all of these negative perceptions that people have around marketing. We don't need to do any of that. We just need to get our gift out there and connect what we're really good at with the people who need that the most. So if we hate marketing, we could do a reframe here on our belief and say that's actually doing people a huge disservice. And that's actually being inauthentic, is if we're holding on to this gift and this vision that we have and we're playing small and we're not willing to get out there and promote what we do. That is only going to undermine our business, and all the people that need us, that are starving for what we offer, they won't even know we're there. And therefore, we're doing those people a disservice. So before we move forward in this video, I want you to write down what you believe to be true about marketing, how you feel about it, and generally speaking, if your perception of marketing is based on positivity and inspiration, or you feel resistant to it, like it's a burden, and you're like, oh man, I just wish I didn't even have to do that. Your marketing will never work if you're clinging to a limiting belief like that. So we really want to get you in this more abundant, prosperous mindset, because that is going to be like jet fuel for your marketing, and it's going to make it way more compelling and powerful for your audience, okay? All right, cool. I'll get off my soapbox here on marketing now, and let's talk about getting more patients in the door, because I know that's really important to you. So here's my take on it. And you might want to write down this basic diagram. The way that I recommend that you market your business is that it all centers around your website. In this day and age, you need to have a really professional, compelling, professionally branded website that showcases your expertise, that helps people trust you and want to work with you a lot faster than they otherwise would, and that does all of the heavy lifting of getting people in the doors, of selling your services, right? So anything you're doing to market should revolve around your website. We really want to make sure that's in place. And this is really the kind of overarching system that I recommend that you build your business around, is your website. Now on that website, there are a variety of key elements that we want to have in place. And this is a big conversation. And we don't have time to go into all of that today, because that will take me, honestly, a good couple of hours to lay out exactly what you want on your website. But in general, I want you looking at the copywriting on your website, the images, the quality of the design. Is it set up as a generic template, or is it customized and professionally branded? I want you to look at the different marketing elements like social media integration. Do you have an opt-in form so you can collect emails from people? Are you, sharing a lot of just awesome, great content that makes people want to work with you? In a very basic nutshell, that's a lot of what we're looking at to make sure that your website is set up the right way. And then what we're going to do is use a variety of strategies to drive as much traffic to that website so it can sell very effectively on our behalf, okay? So your website is the epicenter of all of this. You want to think of it as the hub or the main portal that you're bringing all of your prospective clients through, all right? So then what we want to do is we're going to go through a variety of strategies here that you can use to bring people back to your website. So first of all is referrals. We definitely want to, highly leverage word of mouth and referrals in our practice without question. The problem is that a lot of us rely on referrals way too much, and we think that's all we need to do. Referrals is an essential component of your success, but it's only one branch of many. So this is where you want to start thinking like an entrepreneur, is like, okay, referrals are great, but what are some other strategies that can just skyrocket my exposure and get me way more visibility for what I do? The second one is networking. The third one is speaking. So you definitely want to use networking and speaking, especially if you're in more of a phase one or startup phase of your business. You want to get out there and do networking events, set up speaking gigs, and get really involved in your community, shake a lot of hands, interact with a lot of people. The next one is blogging and search engine optimization. So right now, there's a really good chance you have hundreds, if not thousands, of people typing in different keywords on Google to get solutions for the problems that you can help them with. And you want to do everything you can to position your website and your content in front of people searching. That's basically what search engine optimization is. It's a huge subject. We don't have time to go into all the details here, but I definitely want to get you thinking in this direction. Now, this was one of the big strategies that I used to build a really successful private practice in an area that was honestly just really saturated and like probably the most competitive market in the world, or one of them, in Boulder, Colorado, for alternative medicine. So I just blanketed the search engines with my content, and it worked extremely well. I was getting consistently 3 to 6 new patients a week just from strategically placing myself in front of online searches. That's gotten a lot more difficult over the past few years, but it's still pretty easy in a lot of local markets, and I really love coaching on that because it's, once you understand how to do it, it's not that hard, but if you don't understand, there's a lot of guesswork involved and it gets pretty frustrating. Video marketing. So make sure that you have a YouTube channel that really positions you as an expert, that has lots of great content and videos, and that sets you apart from the competition. Video is a great way to just be innovative and creative in your marketing and do something that very few other practices are doing. Social media. Now, this is a big one, and it's obviously a controversial topic in terms of how much we want to focus on sites like Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn. Honestly, I think Facebook is still the go-to platform for where you want to be marketing your business in 2015. There are too many advantages, too many benefits to ignore Facebook, no matter how much you dislike it or what people are saying about it. Trust me, Facebook is a goldmine of new clients if you're willing to learn how to work it, play the game, and especially if you're using Facebook advertising. Facebook advertising is really like a catalyst for your business growth. I literally think of it as like flipping the on switch to your business if you know how to use it the right way. So you definitely want to use advertising not only through Facebook, but possibly Google AdWords and even offline advertising as well, if you can find some really targeted, cost-effective ways to do that, which they're out there, but generally the $2,000 to $5,000 display ads that are really untargeted, I recommend staying far away from for now. It's just generally going to be a disappointment. It's going to waste your money, and we want to make sure that does not happen. So when you look at this screen, as you can see, there are many ways that you can build your practice. There are so many things that you can do to get way more exposure than just through word of mouth. And what I want you to do right now is make a commitment to a couple of these strategies. Now, there are many more than this on top of the 6 or 7 that you see on your screen here, but we don't want to overwhelm you, and you really just want to focus on what I consider to be the highest leveraging activities, okay? So your goal right now is to choose 2 to 3 specific marketing strategies that you feel inspired by and that are authentic to who you are. Now, as a baseline, I recommend mastering word of mouth and pay-per-click advertising, because those are always going to be kind of 2 of the lowest hanging fruits in your business. They can generate the fastest results, and effective advertising, like I said, is basically like turning the on switch to your business. It's probably it is the fastest way to get just a flood of exposure and to just, dominate for a local visibility in a way that very few other practices are. So let's break that down a little bit more, though, because people get very confused about where they should be investing their time and their money in terms of marketing. So here's the way I look at it, is that if you're in phase 1 right now, which means you're more in a startup phase and you're seeing less than 20 clients a week right now, you're probably not making much money yet. You're still putting a lot into your practice and getting it going. You'll want to focus a lot of your energy and your time and resources on networking, speaking, and referrals. And I say that because you'll likely have more time than money right now. So it's important to use that time for offline marketing and networking. So you want to get out there in the community and just interact with lots and lots of people and get really good at having selling conversations and getting confident about promoting what you do. So you really just kind of kill off a lot of the awkwardness, the self-consciousness around that, and that can only come through practice. I remember the first few times I did networking events, I was really nervous. I felt super awkward about it, like really self-conscious. But the more I did it, I just put myself into the fire. It became easier and easier, and I discovered actually I had a pretty good skill at it. And it became a great way for me to get new people in the door. So if you tend to be really introverted and self-conscious, I can definitely relate to that. But the faster you overcome that self-consciousness, the more benefit it's going to be to your business, because it's just an example of being willing to overcome your blocks. If you feel like you're playing small, realize as a business owner that's never going to really work to your advantage. And your goal is to get out there and market with authenticity in a way that is sincerely intending to help people. That's not about you. It's not about your business even. It's about how many people can I serve here. And if you can go into it with that mentality, you'll always feel so much more inspired about doing this, okay? Now, if you're in phase 2, meaning you already have a pretty full schedule, you're going to want to invest 5 to 10% of your gross income minimally back into advertising. And like I said, I recommend mostly Facebook pay-per-click advertising right now because it really is the cheapest, most cost-effective, and I think the most interesting and innovative way to go right now. And I think in 2015 in general, that's going to hold true. And you also want to focus more on SEO, search engine optimization, blogging, and social media, because all of these strategies, they leverage your time more. And the idea here is that you've probably already developed some facility with offline marketing. You've already probably attended some networking events, you've done some speaking, and what happens is once you develop that skill set, you can translate it directly into the internet now. That's really what social media is it's online networking. Blogging is really just a form of online communication that you can develop through offline practice, and that's really the way you want to think of this, okay? So you want to leverage your time more effectively, take some of the money you're making and reinvest it back into advertising and internet marketing. So your marketing strategies are based on the amount of time and money you currently have to invest in your business growth. So what I want to make absolutely sure of is that you have the right support systems and mindset in place to maximize your success in private practice. So you never have to worry about cash flow, getting enough patients, or the constant ups and downs. Peace of mind is really the ultimate reward of business, yet very few practitioners ever truly experience this. So look at your situation right now. Wherever you're at in this process, do you have true, genuine peace of mind in reaching your practice goals? Or even on a more subtle level, do you find that you're afflicted with worry, with stress, with concern about your future, where you never feel like you can fully relax? Well, a lot of this really does have to do with your front-end marketing, and we want to make sure that you stabilize that you get really good, you develop this skill of becoming a good marketer for your practice, because that will really take you to a much deeper place of peace in what you're doing. So marketing is just one piece of this formula though, right? In the next video, I want to help you dramatically improve your client retention. This is a critical area for you to focus on, so please do watch that video. Now, I hope in today's video you've already received some valuable takeaways and some insights into how you want to move forward. But I want you to get thinking in terms of systems. How can you systematize your marketing? So once again, your website is at the epicenter of what you're doing. You're bringing people to that website, and it's selling on your behalf 24/7. It's positioning you as an expert. That makes it so much easier to market effectively in 2015 and beyond, okay? So I'd love to hear what your takeaway was from this video. Go ahead and like and share this video if it's been helpful, and even more so, leave a comment below. Let me know if you have any questions. We covered a lot here, and I did talk kind of fast, so I know that you might have some questions about this. Let me know in the chat field below if there's anything I can do to help you out, okay? And I'd love to get a dialogue going about what we can be doing for you to get you moving forward in 2015 in a new way. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Once again, this is Kevin Doherty with Dream Practice Coaching. Really looking forward to helping you on multiple levels in 2015 and beyond. All right, take care, guys. All the best.